Imagine getting a text that just says, "Leave. I'll tell you where you're going later." No address. No timeline. No guarantee. That's the call Abraham received, and he went. Part 1. God's call. Abraham, who was first called Abram, lived in a land called Ur. He had a home, a family, a life. Then one day, God told him, "Leave your country, your people, and your father's house, and go to the land I will show you." Even without knowing the destination, Abram obeyed. Part 2. The promise. God didn't send Abram out empty-handed. He made a promise, an enormous one. "I will make you into a great nation." There was just one problem. Abram had no children. His wife Sarah was barren. They were both old. God was promising a river to a man standing in a desert. Still, Abram trusted God. He traveled through deserts, faced hardships, and waited many years for God's promise to come true. One night, God told Abram to look at the stars in the sky. God said, "So shall your descendants be." Years passed. Then decades. The promise felt impossible. But God doesn't forget. Sarah, who had laughed at the idea of bearing a child, held a newborn son in her arms. They named him Isaac, which means laughter. The impossible had arrived. And Abraham, now with his new name, became the father God had always said he would be. But then came Abraham's greatest test. God asked Abraham to sacrifice Isaac, the very son he had waited his whole life for. Abraham obeyed and climbed the mountain with Isaac. At the last possible moment, God stopped him. An angel called out from heaven, "Do not lay a hand on the boy." A ram was caught in a thicket nearby the sacrifice already provided, and Isaac was spared. The deep meaning. Abraham's story is about trust, patience, and faith even when life makes no sense. Life lesson. Faith is not always about having answers. Sometimes it means taking the next step even when you cannot see the whole path. Subscribe for more Bible stories explained simply as we continue through the Old Testament.